Hello, this is Mad Cat, the angry egalitarian, discussing this and that, and today is another impromptu episode. Now, this just came across my feed on Twitter, and I'm really shocked, although I guess I shouldn't be, because a recent article I saw on The Humanist, written by a gender queer, bi, romantic, something, basically said, and I'll be discussing this article probably next week, but basically has said that white men shouldn't be allowed into public restrooms and should be required to go out by the dumpsters to do their business and to use garbage for toilet paper. Now, I really hoped that it was a joke, but I suspected that it might not have been. And this is confirmation that that person was not joking. I don't know what gender they call themselves, so I'll just call them he, because it looked like a guy. But oh my fucking god, what the hell are you doing? The American Humanist Association. I'm on your mailing list. What the fuck? I'm going to cancel my subscription to you, because it used to mean about, humanism, and now you're allied with the LGBTQ, the Feminist Alliance, and the Black Humanist Alliance. Now, my first thought is, are you saying that LGBTQ, Black, and feminism is not American? Because the whole idea of American humanists was that you helped everyone, okay? And this is suggesting that you helped everyone except these three groups, and now you're kind of joining together with it. But we know what it is. We know what this is all about. What this is all about is that they're taking a new direction and are going to focus on these three groups, which is basically the feminist-run LGBTQ Alliance, the Black Lives Matter movement, and the feminist movement, above all others. Now, I want to go ahead and take a look at a press release that they just had today. So let's go ahead and read through this. Humanist group launches initiative for racial justice, women's equality, and LGBTQ rights. I'm surprised it's not LGBTQIA, because I've also seen that as well. To strengthen the humanist presence in social justice movement, today the American Humanist Association launched the Black Humanist Alliance, an adjunct organization that will promote racial justice and solidarity between blacks and other humanist communities. So, what about Asians? What about Hispanic? What about Native Americans? Well, what about those? Are those just not important to you? What about white people? Oh yeah, because white people are the enemy, and all those others are all covered under the umbrella of the Black Humanist Alliance. Yeah, you want racial justice, but only for black people. Good job on that one. In conjunction with the launch of the American Humanist Association is also relaunching its women's rights adjunct, the Feminist Humanist Alliance, and its LGBTQ adjunct, the LGBT Humanist Alliance. The humanist community will always be committed to defending the separation of church and state and the civil liberties of non-theists, said Roy Speckart, Executive Director of the American Humanist Association. But to truly live out our humanist values of equality and justice, we must also stand in solidarity with people of color, women, and LGBT individuals whose rights, dignity, and full humanity are sadly still disregarded in our society. What about men? You know as well as I do that men are also disregarded in the society, if not more so. Maybe you have a case for people of color, even though it's the Black Humanist Alliance. Maybe you have a case there. And maybe if it wasn't just the black humanists, but you included all these other adjunct groups, that would be one thing. And yeah, if you want to support feminism, I can't stop you from that. But you shouldn't just say, we only support the feminists because they're the only ones with the problems. Fuck you. Fuck you, American Humanist Association. I am embarrassed to be a member. Put me off your fucking mailing lists. In all honesty, stop sending me mail. Stop sending me emails. I am fucking embarrassed. How fucking dare you ignore one half of the population? You know as well as I do that men suffer in this society. Would you like me to give you a list? I mean, how about the fact that men have had to be hauled off to war against their will for selective service? How about the fact that, you know, we can't get a college education unless we're willing to sign up for the draft? A thing that women have not had to deal with until now, when there's the suggestion that they might, and now feminism wants to ban it. How about the right to genital integrity? The fact that men are required to get a circumcision, that it's pushed by the hospital, and that most parents do it even though it is genital mutilation. It is considered normal. How about the fact that men cannot divorce themselves from raising a child even though women can? Now, I'm not saying that we should abolish abortion, but men, no matter what, have to be financially responsible for the child unless the mother gives it up for adoption. How about child custody cases, that most of the time it's automatically given to women even if it's not in the best interest of the children, because that's how the court system is designed? How about the fact that if a man loses their job while paying alimony, they can go to jail for not being able to pay it despite making less money? Look, you want to support feminism, you want to support women, go for it. But do not ignore men in the same breath. Let us continue reading. The goal of the American Humanist Association adjuncts is to organize humanist volunteers who will actively engage with issues of racial justice, gender equality, bullshit, and LGBTQ rights in their communities and across the country. Already, these adjunct organizations have mobilized dozens of volunteer leaders, yeah, I bet, who've all demonstrated that non-theists are activists within social justice movements. Oh, you just lost me there. I mean, I could say, okay, I understand you're going with what's popular, but you use social justice movements. That means that there is no American Humanist Association. Not anymore. It's just a feminist organization. That's all it is. You've been invaded. You know, V. Naculus said it best. It's American Humanist Plus. That's what it is. It is now a social justice movement. Let us continue. The American Humanist Association social justice leaders will also work within the secular movement to raise awareness about the need for outreach, inclusivity, I cannot say that word, apologize, and awareness about social justice issues. Oh, I fucking hate you. The secular movement is often misrepresented as the old boys clubs of straight, white, well-to-do men, said Sincere Carabo, American Humanist Association social justice coordinator. Though my Black Humanist Alliance and our other adjuncts, through the Black Alliance, people will come to realize that there are many humanists and atheists who are women, trans, queer, gender nonconforming, and people of color. You know, we already knew that. It's called Atheism Plus. We know you exist. But what you're doing now is saying that only these things are important and everything else is not important. It's called the American Humanist Association. Now you're expanding to these specific groups. You know, expand to all of the groups, in all honesty. Open up your doors and say anyone who wants to be a part of us can. Hey, honey badgers, why don't you come in? Hey, a voice for men, a voice for male students, also welcomed in. But this is all about social justice, which is a joke. The secular movement is diverse, and we must ensure that everyone within our movement is given a voice. You already had a voice. Currently, the American Humanist Association social justice adjuncts are partnering with other organizations to combat inequality. Volunteers in the Black Humanist Alliance, Feminist Humanist Alliance, and LGBTQ Humanist Alliance are partnering with Lionhead Foundation, Black Lives Matter. Oh, really? You want to partner with people who have attacked people that have committed some of the worst human rights violations? They beat up a Marine who defended our country in a parking lot because he chose to ignore them when they asked him if Black Lives Matter. He wanted nothing to do with it, and he got fucking beat up. And Black Lives Matter hasn't really spoke out against that kind of behavior. A National Organization for Women in showing up racial justice. I don't really know anything about them or Lionheart Foundation, but someone in comment down below, you can certainly tell me. Among other programs, efforts are going to continue reaching out to new volunteers as well as other organizations dedicated to advancing full equality and recognition for all people. You mean you weren't doing that before, American Humanist Organization? Huh. Bullshit. Oh my god, why are you doing this? I mean, the answer's obvious. You're doing this because you've been invaded by feminism, and there no longer is an American Humanist Association. It is now just the National Organization for Women. It's now just Black Lives Matter. Look, you want to open up your door to some of the people, fine. Open it up to everyone. Let everyone come in and have a voice. For all I care. But this is nothing but social justice corruption. That's all it fucking is, and I'm fucking disappointed. And like I said, go ahead and take me off your fucking mailing lists. Anyone watching this, please post down below what you think about this. Do you like this? Do you hate this? Do you think it's corrupt like I do? And also mention anything about Black Lives Matter, National Organization for Women, showing up racial justice, and Lionheart, and let's list off all the human right violations that they have committed under the guise of gender equality and racial justice. Anyways, I'm fucking pissed off about this. I'm embarrassed to call myself a member. And I'm no longer going to be associated with the American Humanist Association. I still consider myself to be a humanist. I will not be associated with feminists or the Black Lives Movement, the Black Lives Matter movement. No. Because they have done some very horrendous things, and the fact that they keep advocating for social justice just tells me that they were invaded by feminism, and that's all they are. So the article about white men being required to use a dumpster for a toilet, that's the future. And if you don't think that's a fucking human rights violation, then you're already fucked. Anyways, this is Mad Cat signing out.